Welcome to Interesting News. I it, sorry guys. Welcome to Interesting News with Phoenix. I am your host Phoenix. This is a show that I talk about different news topics that I may come across, whether it's current topics, um a news article maybe that I came across that I find interesting, celebrity news, uh pretty much whatever I want to talk about, right? And hopefully you guys find it kind of interesting as well. All right, let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about a case that highlights a big problem with Social Security overpayments. There is an elderly lady, and this story does come from MoneyWise. Again, I just kind of was zooming through the internet, if you will, and came across this particular article. I found it pretty sad and interesting at the same time, right? And so I found this would be maybe a story you guys would be interested in hearing. All right, so let's get into it. There's an elderly lady from Maryland. She found herself in a tough spot after the SSA slashed her monthly retirement benefits due to a decades old error on her deceased brother's account. All right, so this lady brother, the Social Security says she received an overpayment because of her deceased brother's account. So in November of 2023, this elderly lady received a Social Security overpayment notice stating that the SSA was trying to claw back $6,899 they claimed was overpaid to her late brother, which is now deceased. This error was from the early 2000s, but it fell on the elderly lady because she was her brother's official payee before his death. The SSA planned to deduct $233, y'all. $233 from her monthly retirement benefits until the debt was paid. Can y'all just imagine losing $233 a month, especially when you relying on that money to cover basic bills? I mean, my God, like it really is a shock that they would say to her, because you were the payee over your brother's account, and now he is deceased, and we can't get him for the overpayment that we gave him for the mistake that we made. We are now going to come after your Social Security. I mean, my goodness, that it's just shocking and appalling to me. Well, the elderly lady was understandably upset, saying, "This is my money. I earned it. I worked for 37 years in Baltimore City schools," which then she immediately filled out a form to request the SSA reconsider their decision. After several calls to customer service and a hearing about her case, she was told that the collection would be paused while the SSA reviewed it. It's a small victory, if you will, but it shows that when you push back, you might get results. So please, y'all, if something happens, don't just accept it. At least fill out the forms, talk to somebody, figure out what exactly is going on, and if you have any other options to stop it. Well, the elderly lady case isn't unique. The SSA sends out overpayment notices to about 1 million Americans every year. And many times these overpayments are due to government errors, not mistakes by the recipients. The, the problem affects retirees, disabled workers, and survivors of deceased workers. It is a burden on those who can least afford it. So I mean, listen, these are people that really do depend on that Social Security. It a lot of times is the only income they have coming in, and they budget their life on getting this money. So all of a sudden, because of an error that was made on someone else's Social Security, not an overpayment of your own Social Security, but an overpayment of a sibling's Social Security. you are now going to be deducted. I mean, it's wild. It is absolutely wild. But this other lady case shows that it is essential to stand up for your rights. When the SSA makes a mistake, don't be afraid to push back and demand a review if you believe you've been treated unfairly. If this episode resonated with you guys, please share it with others who might be dealing with Social Security issues. Just so, if nothing else, they know that they're not alone and that there is something that they can do to not just accept it, but to please go out and get a review on it and get a second opinion and appeal it, and whatever else that you may be able to do. Well, I really do thank you guys for joining me tonight. This was a short story, but an important story. If you will, go ahead and subscribe down below, comment, and I look forward to coming back to you guys with more stories. If you like my stories or like my channel, please come back. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening to Interesting News with Phoenix. I am Phoenix, and it's been my pleasure. See you next time.